Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now former 6th-round pick, it's Elijah Mitchell. And he's going to have a Niners first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Play action, now it's Lance. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. David Ojabo running in to take him down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week. I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 45. And they'll begin by running the option. The quick feet by Jackson. And all the way down to the 9. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Now it's Jackson. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Buying time to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And the 49ers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Now a play fake. Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. First down, here's Mitchell. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance. And that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. On third down, here's Mitchell.
Wow.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
From midfield, here's Lance. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. A big play there for the Niners. 45 yards. Here we go now on first and goal. They'll run with Mitchell. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal. Lance looking to throw it. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's third and goal. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this.
Oh, shit.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game.
How could I hit that?
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
On first and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6. The Ravens sitting at 5-2 on the year, and they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now Dobbins again on second down. They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area and disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And this is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson on the give to, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On play action, Lance. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Lance to throw it. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lance. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Lance.
Make a pick that.
Throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Lance. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. From the 24, Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the 49ers are going to have it here at their own 15. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2. Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there, against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So we come upon halftime. 6-3 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's like fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit. Get in their grill. And then send them back out.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he's got room. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the 6. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll start with a run by Mitchell.
Yeah, we'll take that.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And Lance now to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Oh, that's just unlucky.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 131 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
Wow, my nigga really slipped. I'm fucking asleep.
23-yard line. It was Melvin Ingram that time who shot in to bring him down.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 2nd and 10, Lance taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
Nope.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Room here to run. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the 1st down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself as we just saw there.
And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out.
And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 67 yards. And the 49ers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. This time, the extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This is taken way up at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. 151 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. They go play action with Jackson. Steps away to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know he was trying to get the
Fuck, I
completion
missed that nigga
downfield,
wide
but the
open
way
down
this
the
game
middle.
has
My
gone,
fault.
with a few of the
I
runs
forgot
he's
what
made
button it
along
was.
the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense.
Get in there.
Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Jackson from the shotgun.
Oh, what's up with this lag, bro?
They need it. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
That's not what I was trying to do.
Take possession of the football. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
And he comes down with that?
Samuel. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. To throw, it's Lance.
This one caught by Kittle. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And this a very, very short kick. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fields this way up at the 17. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Dobbins with it. Oh, look at the juke. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Throwing, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass
is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On third down, here's Dobbins. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They're going for it with Dobbins. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. And now time for one final play that has to be obviously in the end zone.
Can't wait to see what they call, but you want to get it to your best player. Sometimes you have to do it by formation. Move everyone to one side, and maybe he gets a one-on-one isolated on the backside.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. One last shot for Jackson. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Partner, what a finish to this one. I mean, this offense, they had it down there inside the red zone, but ultimately couldn't execute that final snap to find the end zone.
Yeah, and they're going to walk away from this one, and you know what's going to go through their heads the entire time.
So for San Francisco,